Now there is no module 7. We were just talking about this. Let's go to module 8, and I just want to show you something. This will be easy. First, there's the lab exercises where you have to find things and enter queries and all that, which is fine. And here they expect you to figure out how to do it. But if you get stuck, the second half gives you the solutions. So the second half is the same steps again, but they give you the queries in red. So you shouldn't have any trouble doing it. So let's just start with this one. We'll do the first couple steps, just see how it works. So we navigate to search view. Enter a search that will returns all web application events that include a purchase with a web status of 200. And you could probably figure it out, but anyway, here it is. This is something we actually had in the lecture. Indexes, main, sources, access combined with cookie, action equals purchase, status equals 200. That's pretty easy to understand, and I'm trying to get to the right page, but I'm accidentally scrolling. All right, so now I got to go to home and search and put in all that stuff, and of course all time, and I should get some events, 17,934 events, and often they tell you how many you'll find. Okay, you see fields that do not matter to the team, so use fields to return only action, JSession ID, and status. And one thing that is strange is they have file equals success.do here, which I don't understand how. Well, I see. I skipped some stuff. Okay. We're up here. Okay. Now, select the file field in the interesting fields list, and notice there are two different files. Okay. So we go to File here, and this data came from two different files. Okay, success.do and error.do. There are two different files. All right, and I think we only want the success entries here. We're only looking for successful purchases, so add success.do. So this, now, right now I have 17,934, and this is a habit I learned from being in DBA. You always notice how many events there are, and you notice if whatever you do is changing it in the correct way. So this should go down from 17,000. It should go down to 16,139. And this is just, becomes a habit. Every time you do anything, you check to make sure you're seeing the expected number of records. Because what he just did, deleting stuff, is the most dangerous, and you can easily have like all the records when you only thought you had a few, and then delete them, and that's a bad day. So you always check to make sure you get the expected number of answers to make sure you're under control. So now I got those. Now I just want these fields, action, JSession ID, and status. So I'll add that to the query, which is pipe, and then fields, action, JSession ID, and status. So here I had the whole event. Now I should get just action, JSession ID, and status here. Now the events are still showing me everything, but I'm only seeing those fields here. And I think, all right, there's the results example. Now the field list looks cleaner, but the events still look funny, so you might want to put it in a table, and that would be adding the word table to the query. So instead of just fields, we'll make a table of those things, and this I actually use a lot, and we're going to use it in the boss of the sock next. Now you get a nice table, action, JSession ID, and status, and you can sort and search through these. This is very often, you get just what you want without a bunch of nonsense. Yeah.
So all of that, let's say you just called it nonsense, but interplay, signals.
All the extra data.
All the extra data that we as humans have a really hard time understanding. This is a really good example of where we would start to see why table view is not only helpful for our executives,
yes,
but also helpful for us, the investigator, who may not necessarily be well versed in network protocol and.
Well, you might be, but even if you are, you want to see what you care about.
Right. And
you want to get rid of all the extraneous stuff, like maybe I don't care about the time right now, or the name of the server, or the IP address, or any of that. I just want to look at this is very often the case. You got to get down to what matters to you. Yeah. So, and we're going to do it live. So that's why I'm not going to do this whole project, because you see how it goes. And especially with these red things, you should have no trouble doing it. Yeah. And that applies to all of them. So that's for these Splunk projects that you're doing. And these are just business, not security. So I'm going to move on to the security stuff, which is more fun. So let me stop this recording.